Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, and today I've got a special episode for you guys. This stream is called Challenge for Apostate Prophet. So I'm going to be speaking to our good old buddy, good old pal, Mr. Ridwan, Apostate Prophet. I do apologize, guys, for the late stream. I know it was supposed to be an hour earlier, but unfortunately, I got a little bit caught up at work, so I had to delay the stream for an additional hour. So, yeah, that's the story. But anyway, for those who aren't familiar, my recent interaction with Apostate Prophet started off with the discussion that we had with him on tap. And then after that, there's been an exchange of messages back and forth. And then he's made some community posts referencing us, either implicitly or explicitly. He's also made several videos about me recently. One was explicit. I mean, it's got my picture on it on the thumbnail. And then the other one, I think he was kind of hinting at addressing me as well. So what I'm going to do here is I want to keep you guys updated on the Apostate Prophet saga because it's just a gift that keeps on giving. Just more and more, more and more interesting facts that Mr. Apostate Prophet keeps giving us. So I'm going to give you guys some more goodies from Apostate Prophet. But while I do that, before I get into playing the videos and taking a look at everything, just want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat. Salams, guys. I see we got a bunch of people in here. Yeah, chat looks pretty live, especially for late night and delaying it an hour. But let me just tweet this out real quick. So before I get into the crux of the matter, I just want to update everybody. So hope everybody's doing well, inshallah. So give me 1 second here, guys. So anyway, glad to have you guys here. Now let's get down to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be addressing some recent posts from Apostate Prophet on his community wall. I will be showing some exclusive messages from Mr. Apostate Prophet because apparently he loves me. I think he secretly has a love for the Muslim metaphysician. I could be wrong. Ridvan, you tell me what you think. You might be watching now. I don't know. But he's definitely going to watch at some point. He loves to watch my stuff. He loves to message me personally. I think he's got a secret love for me, which I appreciate that. Appreciate that, sir. So, yeah, I'm going to address some of his community posts and a couple short videos that he's made about me. So let's take a look at them. So let me just share my screen here so I can show it to you guys. Okay. Now, if you guys can see on the screen, okay, there we go. Now, So as you guys can see on the screen here, I'm on Apostate Prophet's community post page. And look what he says here. So I'm reading this section here. He says, I am an amateur debater and a beginner to philosophical debates. Now notice this was only one day ago. And this was largely in response to a video I made exposing that he admitted this to me in personal messages. There's nothing wrong with that. I have spent much of my life learning about history and religions, but even in those fields, there is so much that I do not know and that I am willing to present and to learn. I'm willing to engage with more knowledgeable and experienced people and less knowledgeable and experienced people, because that is a good way to learn for everyone. Isn't it stupid to brag about how knowledgeable and great we are and how ignorant and small others are? What is the point of that? Isn't it much wiser to admit that we are flawed and ignorant and that we can and should all learn from each other? So now he's being very passive. He's like, why are we talking about winning and destroying each other in debates? And I'm an amateur, and why should people be belittling me? Oh no, I'm the victim. No, you're not a victim, dude. You try to bully people, but you're not going to bully me. That's for sure. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at Mr. Apostate Prophet. Let's compare this post with a previous post he's made where he claimed that he won a debate. He won every debate he's ever had with Muslims. So let's see if we can find that here. Let's see. Okay. So compare that with this statement. I have easily won every discussion I have had with Muslims so far. No idea why they are still trying. Daniel Hakikachu proved that Islamic laws are outdated and unjustifiable. Muhammad Hijab proved that Islam is ignorant of science and human nature. The four Muslims, which is referring, I'm one of them, on tap, couldn't debate Islam, couldn't see the clear contradiction in the law deciding who believes and who disbelieves, but also punishing the disbelievers. Well, the question, Mr. Apostate Prophet, are you telling me that you don't actually believe that you defeated these people? That it's not about winning? That you're an amateur debater? And that you don't actually believe that you won? Well, let's see what's more likely. Is it probably that because you didn't give any inkling here as to this being a joke? I mean, let's take a look at some of the comments here. Let's take a look at some of the comments here. Meanwhile, after months, Nadir still arguing. If you look at from his angle, it's between backbone and ribs. That's why you're the teacher, bro. You're opening up people's eyes, and that blah, blah, blah is going on. So the only people that are going after him are obviously the Muslims, making fun of him like, come on, dude, this is stupid. But his fans actually believe that he believes what he said in his post, right? So if he's actually kidding, he should come out and clarify that he doesn't actually believe that he won all of these debates and discussions that he had. So here's my first, remember, because this is called challenge for Apostate Prophet. First challenge for Apostate Prophet. Make a video or community post clarifying whether or not you actually believe and stand by this post. Do you actually believe that you've won every single discussion you've ever had with Muslims, including the four that you actually had? Because 5, 6, and 7 you didn't even actually have, but at least the 4. So Daniel, Hijab, the one on tap, and Nadir Ahmed. I want you to clarify, do you think that you won all 4 of those discussions? So I challenge Apostate Prophet to come out and clarify on his position, because he's saying in this post that he won all 4 of those. Then the previous one that we actually viewed, he's claiming that he's an amateur debater And he's not really, okay, so he's claiming that he's an amateur debater here. Now, so my challenge is for Apostate Prophet to come out and clarify either by video or community post whether or not he stands by that claim that he actually won every debate he's ever been in. And I will tell you that I think that whether he believes it or not, I don't care, but he wanted to portray that to his subscribers and to his followers. But it's only when I exposed the personal message, right, that he sent to me on Twitter. It's only when I exposed that he actually came out and made this post, because he knew he was exposed. Why? Because I'm going to remind you guys of what that post, or I'm sorry, what that direct message from him actually was. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at this here. So 1 second here. Let's take a look. Okay, so let me just share my screen here so you guys can see this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so you guys can see now we've got these messages here. So notice the last two messages, right? We've got here from Mr. Apostate Prophet. So if you see here, he says, anyway, I admit my faults. I think I am an amateur debater. Now notice the language he used. He said this to me shortly, not too long after the debate, the discussion. And then when I exposed this on a live stream on my channel, whatever it was, a week ago, a few days ago, then he came out and made that community post saying that he is an amateur debater, even though he made that other post saying that he destroyed and won every debate he's ever been in with Muslims. So anyway, he admits his faults. He thinks he's an amateur debater and a beginner to philosophical discussions. While you, speaking of Jake, I appreciate this. Thanks for the flattery. Am an experienced debater and proud philosopher. And I am open to talk about something that you claim to preach and I am deeply knowledgeable about, which you're not. You're not deeply knowledgeable about it. If you change your mind at any time, you know how to reach me. Now, again, look at his most recent reply to me. Because he saw that I yesterday actually put up the stream, the one that we're on now, with the thumbnail in it that included this message here, he saw that and it really bothered him. Like, this is really obviously bothering the guy. He's got really thin skin. For somebody that tries to appear very, confident in themselves, he's not. He's very thin-skinned. Don't worry, Apostate. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about anything. If you want to continue, the more messages you send me, yes, I will put them and show them to my live audience to demonstrate that you are dishonest. You're not an honest person. I'm sorry to tell you. You're not honest. And I have to show this to my audience as well as yours. The ones that are willing to watch, they'll see how dishonest you truly are. So when he saw that, he ran to Twitter and messaged me. And this is what he messaged me. Not sure if you're aware, but I defeated all Muslims, quote unquote, which is the post that we just referenced, where he said he won all of his discussions with Muslims. He says that post was a parody. And me telling you that I am an amateur is not a secret, as I have said such things forever, including that this is not about winning. So it's not about winning, even though your post said it was about winning and that you won for me and that we are all ignorant. Not saying you shouldn't make a stream about that, which is the one I'm on now. Sorry to tell you, but I did make the stream, buddy, and I'm on it now. But you would just be making another whole stream in which you engage in a pissing contest with me, which I then laugh about. Okay, hope you're watching this and laughing. At least I can give you some, some late night humor. It's a bit dumb, isn't it? Question mark. Why not just sit down and talk about this like adults, as I have insisted on the beginning? Why? Because we gave you that opportunity and you threw it away. We tried to give you an adult conversation, and you said, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Is this pen necessary or contingent? That's irrelevant. Well, we're talking about God, who's a necessary being, but the contingency argument is irrelevant. It's irrelevant? No, it's not irrelevant. So the point is now, so notice the shift in AP's narrative, which shows his dishonesty. Notice the shift in his narrative. First, well, I'm just an honest person coming on the stream to have a good conversation. Look how that turned out. All we got was it's irrelevant, and he actually conceded the discussion. The title of the stream was, is belief in one God justified? He said, yes, belief in one God is justified. It's reasonable, and it's reasonably justified. And the other thing, he said it was irrelevant because he couldn't even answer a simple question about whether or not my pen is necessary or contingent. Then, so he started out saying, well, he's sincere. I think it's obvious from the conversation he wasn't sincere. Then it went into, well, post-discussion, he tried to flip the narrative and say he won the discussion with Muslims when I exposed that his own message to me showed that he doesn't actually think he is an experienced debater. He's a beginner. And I, as well as the other TAP guys, I can speak for them, know much more about these things. And he actually was embarrassed in that discussion. I'm sorry to tell you, when you can't even tell me if a pen is necessary or contingent, you're a joke. And so, yeah, so it shifted from him trying to seem like he was sincere to him obviously not being sincere, to them claiming that he won every discussion he's had with Muslims, including the one he had with TAP. Then it went from that to, wow, when I exposed this, then he said, oh, he made the post saying he's an amateur debater. And now, after I planned on doing this stream and he saw it, now he's going to saying, well, he never actually meant that he won from the beginning. It was just a parody. It was just all a joke. But guess what? Why did your followers take it seriously? Are they that stupid? So if the joke's not on me, well, you dupe them, because most of your followers in the comment section actually believe that you were serious and that it wasn't a joke. So I think you purposely are trying to take advantage of your own followers. And we're going to get to another challenge to you of demonstrating why I think that's the case as well. Now you're saying that it's a parody. So you've given an inconsistent narrative. You try to appear sincere, then you appeared dishonest, then you appeared arrogant, as if you won the debate and including every discussion you've ever been in with Muslims. Now, then you said, oh no, I'm just an amateur. And now you're saying the whole thing about winning was a parody and it was just a joke. You're not serious. So again, the challenge to apostate prophet, in light of your inconsistency and apparent dishonesty, I want you to clarify for me and my audience, as well as you, and get it clear in your own head first, and your audience, make a community post, as you so frequently do, or a video addressing this particular point, and clearly establish what your final conclusion about our discussion is, and your discussions with the Muslims in general, specifically the first 4 points you mentioned, Daniel, Hijab, us, and Nadir Ahmed. I want you to clarify, do you think you won all of those debates or discussions? Or were you just kidding and you don't even view it as winning or losing? You're an amateur and it was all just a joke and a parody. Clarify and give us a final conclusion on what your position actually is, because your fans deserve your honesty as much as you're willing to give them. Okay. So that's it for that particular message. Now, what else do we have here? Give me 1 second here while I pull up something on AP's page here. 1 second. So, okay, let me address some of these points. Now, I'm going to play a couple videos from his channel to address this as well. But my second challenge, for Mr. Apostate Prophet is this. If you really do think you won and you're so confident in all those discussions, why don't you upload them to your channel unedited and in full? Please do so. I, as a member of TAP, I'm giving you the permission, not only giving you the permission, but am encouraging that you upload the full TAP discussion onto your channel unedited and in full. Please do so and let your audience judge how well you did in that discussion. Because if you truly think that you won and you destroyed us, well, if you actually believe that, why wouldn't you want your audience to see it? Why wouldn't you have the video released on your channel? I don't understand. So let's see. My inkling is that he won't upload it on his channel. If he does, great. Then you've disproven me and you've uploaded it on your channel, and then we can see what people actually think about it. And if you destroyed us and you're confident in that, then upload it on your channel. Go for it, dude. What are you waiting for? It's not a big deal. Just go for it. So so those are my two challenges. First, come out with a community post or video clarifying whether or not you actually think you won these discussions, because you have a inconsistent narrative about that. You changed several times throughout. Second thing is upload the full TAP discussion to your channel. If you don't, then it shows that you're not really that confident in the discussion. And I think you know that you didn't do well. The fact that you couldn't even tell me whether pen was necessary or contingent is just laughable. It's just a complete joke. Just take a seat, sir. Sorry to tell you. Now, we're going to also take a look at some videos from Apostate Prophet's channel that I want to address. Two of them in particular. So let's deal with this one first. 1 second here. Let's take a look at this one first. Let me just share my screen so I can share this particular video with you guys from Apostate Prophet. It's not that long, 7 minutes long. Let's maybe put it on 1.5 speed. And the other one is not that long as well. It is entitled "The Quran is Stupid, Muslims Outraged by Disrespectful Man." So now, see, the other part of the narrative is that AP wants to say, well, I genuinely want to have good conversations with Muslims, but I addressed him in the last one and saying, dude, if you honestly want to have good conversations with Muslims, you should expect that you're not going to if you act a particular way. If you totally disrespect them, then, of course, even if you don't think it's disrespectful, even though I know you know it is disrespectful, you're not going to have good conversations with Muslims. So in light of knowing that and you continuing to do those things, we don't believe you. Cut the crap. We know that you're a phony. You're a fraud. You don't actually believe that you want. We don't actually believe that you actually want to have good conversations with people. So this video was largely a response to what I put out in my previous stream about AP, where I said, you're not honest, dude. You don't really want honest conversations with people. So let's listen to what he has to say about that here.
I've been accused a lot of not being very sincere, being very disrespectful, of not taking Islam seriously, not taking Muslim apologists seriously, and all that. And it has been said that I'm not interested in honest and respectful conversations and that this is all my fault. I just wanted to say a few words about this whole thing. I am disrespectful. I am very disrespectful when it comes to Islam. When these Muslim apologists tell me that none of them wants to talk to me, none of them wants to discuss with me and have a debate with me, none of them wants to get a...
So first things first, he's already admitting that he's disrespectful. So imagine
along with me and engage with me because I'm just too disrespectful toward their beliefs and values. I think they're right. I agree with them. I am very disrespectful toward their values and their beliefs. But hey, I'm also very happy about that. I'm happy about the fact that I'm very disrespectful about their values. I am disrespectful. I will continue being disrespectful. I am proud of being disrespectful, because the problem here is not that I am simply being disrespectful when they are very respectful, and when we could simply have very beautiful, mutually respectful discussions. The problem is that I am only disrespectful because of their ideology and because of the way they are. They are the ones who start the offense, which is incomparable to my offense. I only respond with disrespect.
You only respond with disrespect. No, you start with disrespect, and then we respond to you and show, dude, you're not really interested in honest, good conversation. You're the one being disrespectful. And now you're admitting it. And not only are you admitting it, you're happy about being disrespectful, and you're saying that you will continue to do so. Well, how does that make you look, dude?
The Muslim apologists who complain that I'm disrespectful about their beliefs are also people who believe, or who associate with people who believe, that apostates should be executed. Critics of Islam should be dealt with in a harsh way, with capital punishment or otherwise. That gay people should be executed. That we should be killed in an Islamic state. There are people who dehumanize us and call us filthy rats and pigs and whatever it is. They don't care about human lives. They don't care about dignity. They don't care about respect. They don't care about respecting human lives. They don't respect lives. So what exactly do they expect then? Do they then expect that I should just be respectful about their beliefs, which make them wish and preach death for us, which make them dehumanize us? Do they think that they can simply sit together with people who say, people like you little weaklings who lead their religion and spread corruption, you will be put to death, and we are proud of that? Do they think they can just sit down there and do that? Sit together with people who say stuff like that? And I will just be here and will be completely respectful and timid? Is that really what they think? I mean, how unrealistic is that? How dumb is that? If I came out here, if I had nothing to do with Islam, if I was not an apostate, and my message consisted of preaching that people who convert to Islam should be put to death, then I do not think at all that Muslim apologists and Muslims would be respectful toward me. I would have no right at all to complain about how disrespectful they are. Similarly,
so now he's saying he can be disrespectful because of what he conceives of as, apostasy laws, and he thinks that they're so disrespectful to him and people like him. So because of that, he can do and say whatever he wants. He can be as disrespectful as he wants. Yeah, it's just an emotional response. But hey, he hangs out with Mr. Icky Pine Creek, as you guys could have seen. I'm sure you've seen by now yesterday, Mr. Icky. So I'm going to show you that we've got two Mr. I's. We've got Mr. Irrelevant, which is apostate prophet. I've nicknamed him Mr. Irrelevant. And then we've got his good old buddy, Doug, a.k.a. Pine Creek. After yesterday's stream on Tap on the problem of evil, which if you haven't checked it out, I suggest you go watch it. I am now giving him the nickname Mr. Icky. So we have Mr. Irrelevant, apostate prophet, and Mr. Icky. And they're good buddies. And now he's appealing to emotions in the stream. I think he's been taking a couple pages out of Mr. Icky's book. You be the judge of it, folks.
Those Muslim apologists who dehumanize us and others, wish for our execution and our deaths, who are happy about the deaths and executions and the illnesses and the suffering of others, cannot complain about how disrespectful I am or how disrespectful we are. They are hypocrites if they do so. Giant hypocrites. When I'm disrespectful, I have every right to be disrespectful. Before you complain about my treatment of the Quran, my depiction of Muslim apologists, my satire of Muhammad, my words about Allah, before you complain about that, you should turn around and look at yourself and wonder why exactly I am being disrespectful. You should wonder why exactly I'm making fun of Muhammad. What is it about Muhammad that makes people disrespect Muhammad? What is it about you and your preachers and your apologists? That makes me disrespect them so much. What is it that makes everybody hate Islam and disrespect Islam and make fun of Islam? What exactly is it? Turn around and ask yourselves that first. Fix that. Don't complain about being disrespectful. You don't respect lives. And I don't respect your disrespect toward life. So hey, I will continue disrespecting Islam. If Muslim apologists don't want to interact with me, if they don't want to debate with me reasonably, then I could not care less. I was not the one who initiated talks with Muslim apologists. I don't care. My deal is with my former religion, with a religion that concerns everybody, that everybody can have an opinion on, that everybody should have an opinion on. Muslim apologists.
He says he doesn't care if he has debates and discussions with Muslims. Do you really want me to go to my DMs and show the audience all of the times that you practically begged me to come on your channel after the discussion on Tap, after you couldn't even answer about a pen being necessary or contingent? Are you kidding me? And now you're saying, oh, I couldn't care less. I don't care if they talk about me. I don't care if they disrespect me. I don't care if they have discussions with me and come on my channel. Yes, you do. You're thin-skinned, dude. You're thin-skinned. All right? And everybody can see that you're thin-skinned. If you don't like it and you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen, my friend. Because now you're coming in the Muslim metaphysician's kitchen. And I know how to cook things up. I know how to skill things. So the point is, nobody's buying it. You desperately want Muslim apologists to come on your channel. Desperately. It's just unbelievable. And you say, oh, I don't really care, so I'll remain disrespectful. But yet you were claiming that you wanted respectful discussions. And even in the beginning of the TAP episode, you said, oh, I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. And now you're saying, no, 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 no. You don't actually care about it. So you're kind of like bipolar, man. I don't know what's going on with you. Very strange. I'm not sure what's up and what's down for you at this point.
Are not between me and Islam. They are simply unimportant figures who think they are soldiers of and defenders of Islam. And since they are so brave, and since they thump their chests, since they brag so much, I changed my stance about debating Muslim apologists and said, hey, okay, if these people talk about me and brag about me, try to humiliate me and dehumanize me, okay, let's have conversation, let's have debates. But first have some decency. That is why I'm expecting reasonable interactions with Muslim apologists. Otherwise, I couldn't care less. I will continue doing what I'm doing. My former religion, not your religion. This is not your religion. You have no right over this religion. My former religion, a belief, an idea that you do not own, that you do not rent, that you don't have any special rights over. My former religion, a matter of the public, has been debunked. And
my former religion, a matter of the public. I have the right to disrespect Islam. Yeah, you do. You have the right. You can say whatever you want. If you really want to, go for it, buddy. You've been doing it for a long time, but don't expect Muslims to respect you. And don't expect to have good conversations with Muslims, especially Muslim apologists. It's not going to happen, Joker. And you're not going to confuse and beguile me and the audience that you actually want that. You don't. You're a phony. And that's obvious, and everybody can see it.
Destroyed and analyzed, publicly exposed and ridiculed over and over again, thoroughly, so many times, by me and by others. And you know what? I will continue doing that. I will continue exposing the flaws of this religion, which ruled over me when I was a child. And I will continue showing everybody the true face of this religion. I will continue showing everybody how ridiculous it is, what kind of an idiotic book it relies on. And as long as Muslim apologists continue taking the stance that we are enemies of Islam, that Islam should be imposed on us, that we can be dehumanized and called all kinds of names, that we can be attacked and executed and killed, then I will continue with the mockery as much as I want, with this little book called the Quran, with that ugly-looking cube called the Kaaba, for which I have no regard, and with a supposed prophet that nobody has to respect and that nobody should respect. You should just deal with that. I have no need to interact with Muslim apologists. If you want to interact with me, you can make the steps, you can make the changes. I don't care at all. Thanks, everybody, and stay away from Islam. I forgot to add, yes, I am disrespectful, and I'm proud of that.
So you're disrespectful and you're proud of that. Good. Enjoy yourself. But you're not going to fool us to thinking that you actually want good conversations. You don't. You're just a phony, man. You're a fraud. So let's see. Let's take a look at the next video, which is that one I think was addressing me, but this one more directly addresses me, as it's it has my image in the actual thumbnail of the video. So let me share my screen here. And it is called, one second here. It says, Muslim convert loses his mind over the Kaaba. And this is what he's claiming. He's claiming that I lost my mind over the Kaaba. So Masjid Haram. That's what he's claiming. And he's referencing a video that I made saying, I was just pointing out the obvious ridiculousness in his assertion of saying that he wants to take over the Kaaba, and he's making a joke out of it. His sole mission is to take over Masjid Haram, right? But yet, at the same time, he loves he wants to have good conversations with Muslims and Muslim apologists so bad. You can't hold those two contradictory ideas together. What I exposed and what actually was displayed in that video is you agreed. Those ideas cannot be held together. So what you actually wound up saying is, yes, I'm disrespectful. I'm going to continue to be disrespectful. I'm justified in being disrespectful, and I don't care about having good conversations with people. Fine. At the very least, I've done my job to expose that you aren't actually concerned with good, healthy dialogue with people. And that's fine. At the very least, I've exposed that you are that you're not genuine at all.
Hi everyone and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I recently made this post, which as everyone can tell is a very serious post, in which I announce my very serious intentions of taking over the Kaaba and converting it into something else. I said, my ultimate mission is to take over the Kaaba, to purify it from Islamic elements, and to rightfully turn it into a temple where everyone is welcome, as it should be. I think everyone will be okay with that. Can't wait. And then I posted a photo on which you can see the Kaaba, just to bring you closer to the idea that this cube can easily be taken and turned into something different, for a good purpose, of course. My intentions here are very clear. I want to take the Kaaba and rightfully turn it into a different temple where everybody is welcome and where everybody can worship or think or meditate or do whatever they want. The logistics of it are a little bit difficult, but I'm sure it can be arranged. I'll just go there, march there, take it over, and do this.
This is not a joke, brothers and sisters.
Unfortunately, a Muslim apologist did not receive this very well. He reacted very angrily to this. I don't understand why.
My ultimate mission is to take over the Kaaba, to purify it from Islamic elements, and to rightfully turn it into a temple where everyone is welcome as it should be. I think everyone will be okay with that. Can't wait. You go and you make this post. Oh, you just really want an honest conversation? And then you say, your ultimate mission is to take over the Kaaba? Are you kidding me? You should never post and claim that your ultimate mission of everything is to take over the Kaaba.
I think everyone will be okay with that. Can't wait. Even though he obviously knows that Muslims wouldn't be okay with that. So he's taking a dig. He's mocking. He's playing around. He's joking. He's making fun of people. And if you think that that is actually going to be conducive to honest conversations with Muslims, then you are delusional. But I don't think that you're that dumb. I think you're that dishonest. That you really don't want to have honest conversations with Muslims. And posts like this demonstrate that. Time and time again. I can go through post after post after post. Now, this is equivalent to me saying,
2 hours later.
We're pulling the mask off of you. You're a fraud. You're phony. Nobody believes you now.
As you can see, he says that I claim that this is my ultimate goal and that this is very bad and very disrespectful. I want to ask this very intelligent, very insightful Muslim apologist, and also everybody else who is listening, the question: is it wrong to go and take over people's religious places of worship? Is it wrong to say, hey, I have wrong?
So notice he's playing the video from a clip where I said, listen, at the end of the day, do I really care? Like, Apostate Prophet, you're not bothering me, dude. You want to make these ridiculous posts about taking over Masjid Haram and all this kind of nonsense. Whatever, do your thing, man. Nobody's going to stop you. Like, you're going to make whatever videos and posts you want. I was simply just pointing out the absurdity in you doing that and then simultaneously claiming that you actually want to have good conversations with Muslims. I was simply pointing out that these two ideas are contradictory and cannot be held together. You wound up admitting that on the previous video where you basically said, yes, I'm disrespectful. I'm going to continue to be so, and I don't care. And I don't care about having good conversations. What you've done is you've eliminated one part of the contradiction. So the two statements that were contradictory, you removed one and you kept one, which is you're disrespectful and you want to be, and you don't actually want to have good conversations with Muslims. If that's what I actually accomplished, well, then I did my job. That's great. So we've got a super chat here. We made a track called A Puss, Who Are You? Okay, so I appreciate the super chat there. Yeah, so again, if you guys want your comments or questions addressed, just post them as a super chat in the chat because we've got a lot of people watching right now. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to address all your guys' comments, obviously. So let's go back to the video and let's see Apostate Prophet's attempt to justify why he does this, why he says these type of things.
Right over this. This is currently corrupt. What I believe in is right. What they believe in is wrong. This temple originally belongs to my beliefs. Is it wrong to go and conquer that temple, that place of worship, to purify it from what I consider a corrupt practice and a corrupt belief, and to dedicate it to my own beliefs? Of course, because I know that I'm right and they are wrong. Remember, I'm doing this rightfully according to myself. I think it should be okay. If this guy who calls himself the Muslim metaphysician, which of course shows that he is incredibly intelligent, thinks that there is something wrong with this, then I wonder if he would hypothetically also go to Muhammad and say, hey, Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, what you did is very terrible. Dear Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon you, when you went to the Kaaba, the temple, house of worship of the Meccan idolaters, and you, peace be upon you, went...
See, now he's going into a joke and trying to say, well, because the Prophet alayhi salam supposedly he took over the Kaaba from the polytheists, right? So the pagan Arabs. Because he did that, if I accept that, then I have to accept and be okay with apostate's prophet's post about him wanting to take over the Kaaba. Now, they're not one for one, because my problem was not merely you saying that you wanted to take over the Kaaba. My problem was you saying you wanted to take over Masjid Haram, and at the same time were flabbergasted and wondering why Muslims don't want to have conversations with you, and the fact of you saying that you actually want to have good conversations. No, what would be akin to that is the Prophet alayhi salam taking over Masjid Haram and being absolutely shocked as to why the pagan Arabs wouldn't like that, and him being totally flabbergasted as to why some people wouldn't like that, and removing the idols from there, etc. So that's what it would be like. And not only that, it would be like, well, the Prophet alayhi salam is wondering, well, why are these people upset by the fact that, I've removed their pagan worship from this place? And not only that, why don't they want to talk to me? Why are they upset with me? I really want to talk with them and have everything all hunky-dory. Well, that would be the equivalent, but it shows that what the issue you brought up is a false analogy, because my criticism of you was not merely your assertion that and obviously I know it's you joking around. I don't think you're going to truly go and try to take over Masjid Haram. And you don't have enough guts to anyway. Let's just be honest. But the fact of the matter is that it's not merely that statement. It's that statement in conjunction with you saying that you want to actually have good conversations with Muslims. So in reference to the Prophet alayhi salam, it would be him. It would be like him saying, well, I'm wondering why certain people are upset that I've removed their idols from Masjid Haram. That's what it'd be like. And him saying, well, I wonder why people don't want to talk to me. I want to have great conversations with them. It's no big deal. No, the Prophet alayhi salam had enough common sense and forethought to know, yeah, when this happens, there are going to be some people that are going to be upset and, deal with the consequences that come from that. So it's not like Mr. Apostate Prophet who's in La La Land. These are two totally different things here. Now let's continue playing this clip.
Went there, and peace be upon you, conquered Mecca, and you, peace be upon you, went into the Kaaba and destroyed the idols, peace be upon you, and purified the Kaaba, and then you, peace be upon you, dedicated the Kaaba, peace be upon you, to Allah, then that was very wrong of you, peace be upon you. And I really disagree with you, peace be upon you, and I find it very, very disrespectful of you, peace be upon you, dear Prophet, peace be upon you. Because that's exactly what Muhammad did. And that brings us back why I made this community post, which our very intelligent friend, Muslim Metamorphosis, did not understand. Let's imagine that Muhammad, not me, made this community post. My ultimate mission is to take over the Kaaba, to purify it from idols, and rightfully turn it into a house where only Muslims are welcome, as it should be. I don't care if everyone is okay with that. They have to be okay with that because that's what Allah wants. Can't wait. And that is the entire point of this post. Muhammad claims to be acting in the name of his almighty Allah, who gives him these inspirations and these missions. And he went to the Kaaba and fought the polytheists and destroyed their temples all over Arabia and took the Kaaba from them, destroyed the idols that were inside and outside of it, and dedicated this Kaaba to his own religion and to Allah, claiming that this is rightful, even if others disagree, and even if others don't believe in that. So when your entire religion and the history, the early history, the foundation of your entire religion is built on taking someone else's place of worship, driving their beliefs out, destroying their symbols, and turning that place of worship into your own place of worship, then how can you possibly judge other people's similar intentions as disrespectful? It is part of your religion to destroy symbols, to destroy.
How could you possibly judge people when your entire religion is based on the Prophet alayhi salam taking over the Kaaba? Unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. It shows that he cannot, and it's now we understand why. The guy can't think in proper categories, so he can't even tell me if this pen is necessary or contingent. So it's no surprise that he misrepresented what my criticism actually was. And I don't need to repeat it again, AP, because if you didn't get it from that stream and you didn't get it from the 3 times that I've already said why you're misrepresenting me and why your example is not analogous to what I said, you're not going to get it after the 4th or 5th time because you're just not that bright. You're not going to be able to actually get it. So there's no point of me explaining it again. Now let's finish this.
Idols, to take places, to claim rightful ownership over them, and to fight those who disagree with you. But let's not think about that, shall we? Let's think about how disrespectful I am and how disrespectful all these Islamophobes are. Sad. Thanks for watching. I will be back. Have a great day, and please stay away from Islam.
So that's it. That was the second video that was addressing yours truly, the Muslim metaphysician, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, so that was the second video where he was addressing me, and it was just a false analogy. I explained why it's not at all analogous. So apostate, the more you want to go back and forth, bro, we can do this. We can do this all you want. Keep responding. I'm going to keep responding to you and keep demonstrating over and over and over again your inconsistencies, your dishonesty, your lack of sincerity in these conversations. I'll keep demonstrating it time and time again. So keep responding. But I want to remind the audience, and I want to remind Apostate Prophet, or I'm sorry, because I did nickname him during the stream, and I haven't actually been properly calling him by his nickname. So, Mr. Irrelevant, I do want to apologize. I'm so sorry for not calling you by your proper nickname. Now, I know other people have nicknamed you Apus, and that really bothers you. So I'm going to give you a better nickname. Okay, and people can latch onto this. Let's see. Okay, your new nickname, as I said, is Mr. Irrelevant because everything's irrelevant to you. This pen, whether or not it's necessary or contingent, is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So, and in light of that, actually, you know, one of my viewers on my stream actually sent me a clip that he put together from Mr. Irrelevant, which was pretty funny, really funny. So let's see if I can play this for you guys. 1 second here. Let's see if I can pull this up for you guys. How could I do this? Okay. 1 second. How am I gonna see? I'm not mechanic. I'm not. If I share my screen, because it's an embedded video. So 1 second here as I get this straightened out here. So 1 second. All right, let me just share my screen. And in light of his new nickname, Mr. Irrelevant, I am going to play you an exclusive clip for Mr. Irrelevant. So here we go. Here it goes.
They are largely irrelevant to this. I think it is irrelevant. So that completely renders this discussion irrelevant. I do not think that it is relevant to the question. I do not think it is relevant to religion. Something that is necessary or relevant to the discussion. It's simply a waste of time, to be very. It is completely irrelevant to me.
Yeah, but
And
I
it's
explained.
irrelevant. It's irrelevant to the discussion. I mean, I think it is quite irrelevant, to be very honest. Yeah.
Contingent or necessary.
I simply do not think that it is irrelevant to the argue that I think that the question is quite irrelevant. I think it relies.
Okay,
I have-
and so
I think
I
it's
mean-
not largely irrelevant. Yeah.
okay,
Within this space, it is largely irrelevant to me to speculate something fundamental that must necessarily exist. It is simply not really relevant to me, as I think it is rather irrelevant to me. I think it is irrelevant to the question. It's a question that I largely consider irrelevant, to be very.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that little bonus clip from Mr. Irrelevant. It's largely irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant. I just think it's really not relevant. It's irrelevant. It's largely irrelevant to me. It's so irrelevant. It's largely irrelevant to me. Now, apostate, is this pen, after you've done your homework, is this pen necessary or contingent? So the third challenge for you, apostate, make a video about this pen and tell me whether or not you've solved the dilemma as to whether or not this pen is necessary or contingent. Now, if you still think it's irrelevant, then please tell me that you think it's irrelevant. So that's the final thing. So I've got 3 challenges here for apostate. Okay. First challenge is clarify your position given your inconsistencies on your posts, your community posts and YouTube videos after the discussion with TAP. Clarify your position as to whether or not you actually think you won your discussion with TAP and whether or not you actually think you won your discussions with us, with the other Muslims, right? So clarify that, because you've been inconsistent on that in your personal messages and even on your community posts. Second challenge to Mr. Apostate Prophet is this. Sorry, I keep calling him Apostate Prophet, Mr. Irrelevant. What I'm doing. Mr. Irrelevant, your second challenge is to upload the full discussion with TAP onto your channel so that you can show your entire audience how you destroyed 4 Muslims at one time. If you did that, that would be amazing. They would love it. They would eat it up. Go ahead. I'm giving you permission and I'm encouraging you to upload it. If you don't, it shows that you're not really confident that you did well in that discussion. Probably because you couldn't even tell me whether or not this pen was necessary or contingent. But again, it's irrelevant to me. It's honestly irrelevant to me. Third challenge for Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant, the third challenge for you is you should tell us all why you're so irrelevant. Why you're so irrelevant to me and everybody else. Honestly, you're irrelevant to me. No. Your third challenge, Apostate Prophet, is let us know if you've done enough homework to establish and make a video on whether or not Jake's pen is necessary or contingent. So 3 challenges. Once again, I'm going to repeat them one last time. First challenge, clarify either in video or community posts whether or not you actually believe that you won the discussions with Muslims because you've been inconsistent in answering that question, whether or not your post was just a joke. Secondly, upload the full discussion with TAP to your channel, and which I don't think you will, because I know you know that you got destroyed and you don't want to show your fanboys that. And third challenge, make a video showing us that you've done your homework and you're able to answer the question as to whether or not Jake's pen is necessary or contingent. Or if not, do at the very least, Mr. Irrelevant, do us a favor and at least make a video making fun of this and telling us that it's all irrelevant to me. These 3 challenges are all irrelevant to me. I'm Mr. Irrelevant. So all of these challenges are irrelevant to me. I honestly don't care. They're all irrelevant to me. Why should I care about them? Muslims are irrelevant to me. The Muslim metaphysician is irrelevant to me, even though I send him a DM almost every day. And even though I make videos about him. And even though I love him so much that I'm watching all of his videos. But he's irrelevant to me. So why should I answer his challenge? Because he's irrelevant to me. So please, Mr. Irrelevant, show me how I'm so relevant that you will respond. If you don't respond, then I'm irrelevant to you. But then guess what? We share something in common because you are Mr. Irrelevant. So thank you guys, Mr. Irrelevant. I hope you're watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this stream was relevant to you. If it wasn't relevant to you, I don't know who it would be relevant to because it's a challenge to you. 3 clear challenges. Let's see if you'll even answer to one of the challenges. I don't know. Hey, and again, I'm just putting icing on the cake. 4th challenge, just tell us how badly this video was just completely irrelevant to you. Just tell us that, please. But so I doubt he'll really deal with any of those 4 challenges. If he does, great, because you know what that would mean? It would show that I'm dear to him and that I'm relevant to him. And I really want to, I want to be relevant to Mr. Irrelevant. Really. So with that being said, guys, I hope that you guys all enjoyed this stream. I do want to apologize for the hour of being late. Like I said, I had a late night at work, so unfortunately I wasn't able to make it on right away. We had a couple people become YouTube members, so quick shout out to them and all of the YouTube members and patrons that we got. If you want to continue to see Jake address Mr. Irrelevant, no, I'm kidding. Besides that, if you want to support my work on YouTube and, largely, this Mr. Irrelevant stuff isn't really the main crux of what I do. People know me as mainly addressing atheism and debunking atheism, proofs for God, as well as obviously intellectual discussions, not with people like Mr. Irrelevant because he's not capable of those, but actual scholars, Christian scholars in the field that are experts in their field. I actually debate them on things like the Trinity and incarnation. So yeah, if you would like to support my work, please consider clicking the join button on this video and becoming a YouTube member. You will benefit from that as well by having access to monthly live streams. Also, your second option would be to becoming a patron, where you will have the same access to monthly members-only live streams. If you can't do that or you don't want to, fine. Consider hitting the thumbs up, the like button to this stream. Really helps with algorithms. Leave a comment in the live chat as well as post after the live chat ends. Always share these videos if you're enjoying them. No matter how big or small your social media platforms are, it really helps. And always, of course, consider hitting that subscribe button, folks. So couple quick announcements. I'll leave you with a couple quick announcements. So I did announce that I have an upcoming debate that I just secured that will be on the popular SC Dawa channel. So for those of you who are familiar, and man, I'm loving all those pens in the chat. Yeah, guys, I'm loving those pens in the chat. Awesome. So yeah, I've secured a debate. Actually, Reverend Samuel Green, who's a very experienced debater. He has written for the website Answering Islam, as well as has been debating Muslims for, I don't know, I'm just going to estimate maybe 20 years. Really, it's been the thrust of his sort of missionary work has been engaging Islam and Muslims. So I will be debating him. He is a Christian reverend in Australia. I've spoken to him once before, not like a formal debate or anything, but this time it's going to be a formal debate on the SC Dawa YouTube channel, and that will take place Sunday, September 12th, so next month, Sunday, September 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UK time or GMT. So do look out for that. I also have another Christian apologist, not him directly, but a friend of his, I believe, reached out to me about a possible discussion. And that is Christian apologist Chris Date, who's also pretty well known as a Christian apologist, author in the debate scene. And we will be debating the Trinity. So I'll be debating the Trinity with Chris Date, and with Samuel Green, I will be debating the incarnation. And that debate with Chris Date will be later in the year. I think it's scheduled for December 4th. And I don't have the exact time off the top of my head, but I'll probably make a post about it on Twitter. Don't worry, it's a couple months down the road. But the closest one will be next month, where I'll be debating Reverend Samuel Green on the incarnation. The topic is the incarnation coherent? And we will be debating that, like I said, September 12th on the SC Dawa channel. So really looking forward to that. That should be awesome. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Again, appreciate all the pens, throwing up those pens in the live chat, guys. Really appreciate that. But with that being said, what other news do I have to give you guys? Okay, so tomorrow I will be doing another live stream. Actually, I originally had the live stream with doing a debate review on my debate with the very well-known Christian debater and apologist, Dr. James White, where we debated a couple weeks ago on Trinity versus Tawhid. I originally had a review of that debate scheduled for tomorrow, but in light of Mr. Icky, Mr. Irrelevant's best friend, Mr. Irrelevant, I'll remind you, is apostate prophet. Mr. Icky is one of his good old buddy pals, atheist YouTuber Pine Creek, also known as Doug. Shout out to Doug, aka Mr. Icky. Mr. Icky chose to join our live stream yesterday on Tap, which was on the problem of evil, which we had an eminent Muslim scholar on to represent it and discuss it. So he came on, he called in, and so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the stream tonight, and inshallah tomorrow night, instead of doing the James White debate review, I'm going to do a review of the discussion with Mr. Icky, aka Pine Creek, because that was a treat for you guys, and I think you guys would really enjoy that discussion and me reviewing that discussion with Mr. Icky. So let me just see here before I go. Apostate Prophet, shout out to Mr. Irrelevant. He sent a $5 super chat. Good stream. Loved it. So I knew you would be watching, dude. Listen, honestly, I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Irrelevant. I think, I have a hunch, and I'm being dead serious. I think Mr. Irrelevant, even though I've made this video and challenged him, I think he truly does like me. He has a special place in his heart for me. That's what I feel. Now, I know that I've nicknamed him Mr. Irrelevant, but I really do think that I am relevant to him. I truly think that. I think under different circumstances, he would probably invite me for a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I really do think so. And in fact, if we ever met up, I might even just give him a free pen, and a specialized one, as a matter of fact, because I really do, something about this pen. I really do like it, especially after the discussion with Mr. Irrelevant. But appreciate you watching, Mr. Irrelevant. I love the fact that you're on the stream. I appreciate all the pens in the chat, throwing those pens up. Much love. But yeah, so those are the updates for you guys. I think I'm going to do a stream tomorrow reviewing the discussion with Mr. Icky, aka Pine Creek, where he came on to tap yesterday. So that's it, guys. I don't really have anything else for you folks. So until tomorrow night, let's see. Oh, AP, Mr. Relevant, he sent me another thing. He said, I invite you for a virtual live cup of coffee. I figured that. I figured that. Listen, I'll tell you guys the honest truth. Mr. Irrelevant, he likes me. I'm going to tell you that. He really does like me. I think that, like I'm saying, under different circumstances, we could have had a cup of coffee together and really enjoyed it. Now, Abdul Hamid said, let's see, I have many Dr. Seuss books I can donate. Yeah, I did make that comment about Dr. Seuss with Mr. Irrelevant. I don't know if he'll actually take the advice. You know, that's up to him. It is what it is. But yeah, so unless Mr. Irrelevant wants to send me something else before I go, I'll give you a chance. Give you a couple seconds before I end this live stream. But yeah, once again, guys, appreciate you all for watching. Most certainly, I appreciate Mr. Irrelevant for watching. You are probably – no, see, I don't want to be disrespectful to my – I don't know. Should I do it? You might be – let me just say this. Let me just throw it out there. Cool Kid. See, Cool Kid's always in the chat. Bro, salam. Throwing that $5 out there. Appreciate that. See, I would say that Mr. Irrelevant is my biggest fan, but I almost feel that that's kind of disrespectful to people like Cool Kid. So what I'll say is there's a certain class or a certain tier of my top followers. I think it's very possible that Mr. Irrelevant could be in that top tier of the people that think I'm most relevant. I think he's one of them. So another $2 super chat from Mr. Relevant. I invite you for a good chat for your sake. Out. Okay, thanks again for the invitation. I think that ship has long sailed, but we can continue to exchange these videos. I mean, it's cool with me. I kind of feel connected to you in a certain way. I feel the flow of relevance. It's kind of, oozing back and forth between us. It's almost like we have this kind of weird connection. I really do think so. I think it's the pen. I think it might be the pen, guys. I don't know. I know what I'm getting too. I'm sorry, Mr. Relevant. I know we're friends. I'm getting too supernatural on you right now. I know you're probably like, nah, Jake, that's not cool, man. That's too supernatural. I'm getting too spiritual on you. So I apologize. I really do. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Bedouin, shout out, $4.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. So yeah, guys, every time I say that I'm leaving, you guys send me another super chat and all these cool pens. It's like I feel like you guys don't want to let me go, almost like Mr. Irrelevant. But I think he let me go, and I think I'm going to now let you guys go. I know it really saddens me, but I will see you guys, inshallah, tomorrow night where we review Mr. Icky, Mr. Irrelevant's friend. I'm wondering if Mr. Icky will show up in the live stream tomorrow as well as Mr. Irrelevant did. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as relevant. See, I don't feel the same connection with Mr. Irrelevant that I have with him. I don't feel that with Mr. Icky. I think he actually thinks that I'm icky. I don't think he likes me much. Mr. Irrelevant, I think he actually likes me Mr. Icky, I'm not feeling it. We may increase from here on out, but I'm not feeling it yet. It could happen, could develop. You know, sometimes relationships start off a bit rocky and they develop and you become good friends. Could happen with Mr. Icky. I don't know, but I'm not feeling it right now in the same way that I am with Mr. Irrelevant. But like I said, could happen. So until tomorrow night, guys, inshallah, I will see you guys tomorrow night around, probably going to be an hour earlier, probably around 7 or 8 Eastern, which will be about midnight, 1 a.m. Sorry, I apologize for that, but got to do these things after work because I actually work, you know, unlike some people. But yeah, guys, so take care and hope you all have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow night, inshallah. I will be looking out for Mr. Icky in the chat. Mr. Irrelevant, please let your friend know. Mr. Icky, I'll be reviewing you tomorrow, my friend. Until tomorrow, guys, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.